Hey there, and welcome. I want you to think about your kitchen for a second. We're about to take a look at it in a way you've probably never seen before, because today we're uncovering the hidden stories and bizarre secrets of the food you eat every single day. Seems like a pretty straightforward question, doesn't it? But the answer? Well, it's way more complicated than you think, because a lot of what we just assume about our food is, let's just say it's about to get flipped on its head.
So come on, let's dive right in. We're going to take a little tour of a place you know like the back of your hand, your own kitchen. And our first stop
is that fruit bowl, the one sitting right there on your counter. Yeah, it looks all innocent and healthy, but trust me, it's hiding some of the biggest secrets in the whole room.
Okay, let's start with the orange. You see a bright orange fruit, it's basically the color of sunshine. But get this, in the super warm places where oranges really thrive, a perfectly ripe one is actually green. Yep, bright green. That classic orange color we all know, that only happens when the fruit gets a little chilly.
All right, what about a fig? You think it's a sweet, chewy fruit, right? Well, no. Botanically, it's not a fruit at all. It's actually an inverted flower that blooms on the inside. So yeah, think about that next time you eat one. You're basically eating a whole bouquet of flowers. Wild, right?
And pumpkins, the symbol of fall and Halloween. We all call it a vegetable, right? Well, science has a little surprise for us. It's technically in the berry family. That's right, that huge pumpkin you carve is, botanically speaking, a cousin to a tiny little blueberry. No joke.
And just one more for you before we move on. Raspberries, they're actually part of the rose family, so there's a little floral DNA in your snack. Okay, let's leave the fruit bowl and head over to the pantry.
Okay, so we've covered the fresh stuff. Now for the pantry. Let's open those doors. Because I promise you, the cans, jars, and boxes in there, they've got some stories that go way, way back.
First up, ketchup. Can't live without it. But you know, back in the 1830s, you wouldn't grab it at the grocery store, you'd get it at the pharmacy. For real. It was actually sold as a medicine, a cure for an upset stomach. Talk about a major career change.
Okay, have you ever really thought about what's inside a Kit Kat? You know, that crunchy stuff between the wafers? Well, the secret ingredient is more Kit Kats. Any bars that aren't perfect get crushed up and put right back into the filling. It's like the most delicious recycling program ever.
Now, let's talk about protein for a second. Most of us think protein, we think steak. But take a look at this. Your pantry staples, like chickpeas and almonds, they are right up there, packing almost the same amount of protein. It's a pretty cool reminder that you can find some serious power in plant-based foods.
All right, for our last stop on this little kitchen tour, we're going to talk about foods that have had some seriously wild adventures. I'm talking wars, happy accidents, and even trips to outer space.
Can you imagine walking into a diner and ordering a Liberty steak with a side of fries? Well, during World War II, the word hamburger just sounded a little too German for some people in the US. So, for a while, that's what they called them, Liberty steaks. It's a crazy example of how world events can show up right on your dinner plate.
You know, some of the best foods were created completely by accident. Take the popsicle. Back in 1905, this 11-year-old kid, Frank Epperson, left a glass of soda with a stir stick in it on his porch overnight. It got super cold, and when he woke up, boom, he'd invented the popsicle, all because he forgot to bring his drink inside.
Okay, now let's go to space. The very first food eaten in space by an American astronaut. What do you think it was? Some high-tech space meal? Nope, it was applesauce from a tube. But eating in space is one thing. Growing food in space? That's a whole other level. And the first food ever successfully grown up there? Potatoes. Back in 1995, astronauts on the space shuttle proved we could actually do some farming off-planet. Okay, pop quiz time. The Caesar salad. The name makes you think of Rome, right? Julius Caesar, maybe? So you're probably guessing it was invented in Italy. Well, surprise, it's not from Italy at all. Not even close. It was actually invented in Tijuana, Mexico. An Italian immigrant, a guy named Caesar Cardini, basically invented it on the fly when his kitchen was running out of food. How crazy is that?
And with that, our little tour of your kitchen is coming to a close. We've gone from the fruit bowl to the pantry and even to outer space. And I think it's pretty clear. Every single thing you eat has a story.
So let's just do a super quick recap of the craziest facts, shall we? Ketchup started out as medicine figs aren't fruit, they're inside-out flowers. Kit Kats are filled with other Kit Kats, and for a little while, hamburgers were called Liberty Steaks. It just proves that the food on your plate is so much more interesting than you probably ever thought.
So what's the big takeaway here? I think it's just this. Stay curious. The next time you're about to eat, just take a second look at your plate. Because as we've just seen, pretty much every bite has a hidden backstory, which makes you wonder, right? What other secrets are hiding on your plate?